Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all my witches, warlocks, writers, and wanderers. Today is Friday, March 14th. I am KibbyRose. I am your Authortubes lesbian psychic stoner. It is Mercury retrograde. I have felt it. I have Bailey's in my coffee, to tell you the truth. If you know, you know. It's going to be one of those days. I'm going to discuss a little bit about the eclipse that happened last night, all the crazy energies, and guys, let me just roll the banner, because if you're feeling the same way I'm feeling, let's just get on with it. All right, so just a little rundown for anybody who new here. What we would do here is basically I do personal rants in the first little bit, then we do a 10-minute sprint, then I cover planet influences and current events, and then a 20-minute sprint. Depending on how much of the current influences we have, it might get split into two. Then I cover horoscopes, do another 20-minute sprint, and that's pretty much how we do it around here. We chat a little, we sprint a little, we get work done while we occupy our time. It's been a crazy day. Mercury has thrown a wrench into my doings of things. Just everything I want to get done and everything I want to do is just, there's a wrench thrown in it. So I wonder if everybody else is feeling the same way I am. First of all, I want to say thank you to the replay crew. I see you guys. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I see the numbers go up and I really do appreciate it. Just remember to do the YouTube things, make the algorithm happy. And I see a lot of you do. So just again, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm going to go over a little bit of what the effects of the eclipse moon did to us yesterday. And then we're going to cover Ostara prep as well. Simply because we're doing the St. Patrick's stream next week on Monday. For any of you that know, that's one of the announcements I'm doing later, but we are doing the St. Patrick's Day drunken live stream. And it kind of threw a wrench in a couple other things that we had planned. And since Ostara would literally be something I would have discussed on Monday, we're moving it to Friday so we can have the weekend to prep and everything else. And then we'll celebrate Ostara after we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, because lo and behold, it falls on the same week, right? So we are now in a cycle where we have two planets in retrograde, Venus in retrograde and Mercury in retrograde. So it is literally for some signs it's actually a good thing. For some reason, Pisces, it is working in your communication and friendship sector like no other. It's like it's almost like in your sign they're canceling things out, but for mostly everybody else, we've got problems in communication, problems in relationships with communications, problems in financials, and these retrogrades are really emphasizing the planetary aspects that are going on and influencing us right now. So if you guys are feeling that push and pull in the relationship conversation area or the financial conversation area, or if you're hitting that trifecta of the relationship financial conversation area, just know Mercury and Venus are working really against you in a lot of respects. So bear with yourself, bear with your partner, do the best you can. I have some great advice coming later, because my angels were all about just like, dude, I literally have I was referencing so many DBT skills in my head as I was going through the horoscopes that I literally wrote them all down so that I could just be like emotional regulation, distress tolerance, radical acceptance. By the way, that is something that Democrats need to learn, radical acceptance. Sometimes there are just things that you can't just radically accept the fact that they're there and move on. This is why I love DBT, because I used to be one of those people that would get stuck on that one little thing and not be able to move on until that one little thing was satisfied. And radical acceptance was that skill that I learned, that I was just like, well, check that out. I don't have to get stuck on, and I can rewire my brain to understand that I don't have to get stuck on that one skill. So in regards to that, we have several aspects that are coming in along with Mercury and Venus in retrograde. And if you haven't noticed, it has definitely, like, let's just say the media, if you've been watching the over arc, like a lot of my clients do, of what has been going on in social media and Hollywood and politics and everything else, you've noticed there's kind of been this, like, there was this huge like ruckus, and then there's now this like little bit, like, it's still a ruckus, but it's not as loud, and it's almost like we've hit a lull. Yeah, that's because this weekend, it's that whole thunderbolt storm is literally, let's just say, if you thought your 2-year-old was throwing a temper tantrum up until this point, it's going to double down this weekend. So any of you that have had that 2-year-old that's ever been in that mood where they are just throwing a fit about everything, like it's the terrible twos period, that's kind of what's going to happen here soon this weekend with the Democrats. Because, and I say it's with the Democrats, and I'm not being political in this, I'm saying this because it has to do, everything that I've seen that's being influenced has to do with the passion, the deep-seated thoughts, the wanting to make, the resistance of change, pretty much. And that's why I see it doubling down this weekend. There seems to be one side and one side only that seems to be very resistant to the change that's happening now, even though one thing there's 3 things that are constant: taxes, death, and change. And you can't do anything. Well, taxes, actually, so evidently something is being done about that. Lo and behold, guys. Anyway, on the good note, on the effects of the blood moon, what I actually learned something new about this lunar eclipse in the blood moon. Evidently, because of the blood moon and where it is in the chart and everything else, this eclipse acted like the same kind of veil that we have at Halloween. The veil between the earthly and spiritual world is the thinnest during the blood moon, especially during a lunar eclipse, making it a powerful time for spiritual practices and deep introspectives, urging us to reassess our paths, shed outdated perspectives, and embrace a more authentic alignment with our purpose. Honestly, if that's not what's going on right now, and okay, I'm going to read this again, and I want any of my students that are listening and any of my clients or anybody else to think about the worldly views, not just America. I'm talking about the entire world, okay? The veil between the earthly and spiritual realms is the thinnest, making it a powerful time for spiritual practices and deep introspection, urging us to reassess our path, shed outdated perspectives, and embrace a more authentic alignment with our purpose. When I said, guys, that what is happening this year, this change, this shift, we're being judged right now. June's going to be another hit. I'm not kidding. Everything in regards to the lunar alignments, to the planetary alignments, to the solar eclipses, to when the equinoxes are landing, all of it is lining up to show that this change, this momentum, you can't stop it. It's irresistible. It's not unpredictable because we're on a path, and this path has been paved and we're going full momentum down it. So I just want everybody to kind of, for my clients, I want you to kind of think about that for a second, and then go back to how much shift and change is literally going on, not only on the political front of the world, but on planetary earth movements, earthquakes, volcanoes, that kind of stuff. I want you to look at the shift on an emotional platform in regards to the planet. There is multiple shifts on multiple layers happening here if you're actually paying attention to it, okay? So on that note, I want my clients to also understand that even though yesterday was the lunar eclipse, the energy of this lunar eclipse does last the same amount of time as the full moon. Tonight is the peak of the full moon. Tonight is the strongest night for ritual work. The rituals we discussed on Wednesday, you should have prepped yesterday and you should be performing tonight. If you performed a ritual on the blood moon, perform the same ritual tonight and then do it again the third night, and you will have you will have the emphasis of the lunar eclipse with the full moon. So on that note, when later, or in a little bit, after our 10-minute sprint, which we're going to hop into here soon, we're going to go over, I have several card pulls that clients have asked for me to do. I have several client readings. So I'm just going to give a brief overview for any of the clients that are watching that might be popping in and out to see if I'm going to be covering their stuff. I'm going to cover the planetary influences next, and I'm going to do the card pulls for the economy, the Baldwin, the Gypsy Rose, the Taylor Swift, and the Channing Tatum that were requested through Facebook. Then I'm going to do another 20-minute sprint. Then after that, we're going to cover again the politics, and I have oh my gosh, I have everything from Blue Sky to Putin to Joe Rogan to the aviation industry to Disney to the DOE to CBS, Stanley, to the immigration situation, Meghan Markle, Maxie Boss, Rosie O'Donnell, Kelly Clarkson, Wendy Williams, Sky News Australia. Excuse me, that was just me from that was Bailey's. Ticket release situation going on in Canada. Something about Elon Musk, Blake Lively. I got a rant on the royal family. And then after that, we've got horoscopes, and then 20-minute sprint. And then after that, we've got horoscopes. So that is going to be our afternoon, evening. That is going to be. And I highly recommend that you join me in a drink, because with this Friday, it is Friday night, guys. It is Friday night. I'm having a little drink. You can still be productive and get work done and have a little sippy sip. If you're writing, just remember that, change the font color. I noticed this when I decided to sprint right while I'm drinking. Just change the font color, and then you'll know where to go back and just reassess when you're sober, or don't drink that much, either or. But I just wanted you to know it is Friday night. I have Bailey's in my cup. I want you to join in and join me on it. It's I'm going to do anything I can to mitigate these Mercury retrograde energies. I hate Virgo moons and I hate Mercury retrogrades, and we're in both. And on that note, we've got 10 minutes on the clock, so I will see you guys in 10 minutes. In 3, 2, 1. Stop, pause for a second. Just know, same time I do horoscopes, Josh, Kim, Noah, that's when I will do your card pulls for your psychic reads, okay? I didn't forget. I have the note. I just forgot to say something. Okay, that's the end of that timer, you guys. I'm going to pop in here because I got a hello to my peeps. Hello, Cora. Hello, my dear. How are you? I know you're busy running around with the kids and everything. Hey, I will be in and out because of dinner and the kids and bedtime. Yep. Nope. I just appreciate you coming in and listening. And then we've got Badger. Hello, Badger. I haven't seen you in a minute. I have seen you on Facebook. So, and she's just saying hi to Cora. So it's good to see you too. And thank you for coming in and saying hi. So just for this next little rant, what we're going to go over is Ostara and the prep. I'm just going to do a quick rundown because truthfully on the day of Ostara, we're going to go into a deep dive of it. This is just for more of my clients to take down the details in your notes, be able to prep for this weekend so you don't have to worry about anything when it comes to next week, and we might all be hungover from, partying for St. Patrick's Day. So let's just get it out of the way, and that way we don't have to worry about it, right? Okay, so for all my clients, pull out that notepad because we all figured out that pulling out that notepad is a lot easier than trying to figure out how to redo your journal. And we're going to jump right into this. Okay. First of all, it's going to be on March 20th. It's called Ostara in the pagan religion, but it's also known as spring equinox. The zodiac is going to be in the Aries Taurus cusp. The symbols are, and this is really cute because this is kind of where Easter came from. Easter also came from Ostara. We're going to go into the deep dive of all of that on the day. But baskets, green leaves, bunnies, butterflies, and eggs. The symbols are fertility and new beginnings. The deity is Persephone. She's got a lot of holidays, you guys. I'm starting to realize that. Food is eggs, salads, hot cross buns, honey, cakes, teas. I actually have a recipe for hot cross buns, and since I'm not going to be able to do the egg coloring because of finding white eggs right now for some reason is not only expensive but difficult, we're gonna figure something else out. But I might do the hot cross buns instead. Colors are not my favorite, but they're pastel colors: the light pinks, light blues, light greens, the mints, the lavenders, the light mauves. The most powerful herbs are the rosemary and violet. The most powerful incense are jasmine, lavender, and rose. The stones are going to be rose quartz, selenite, or anything pastel, pretty much. Okay. And you can go through your crystal books to kind of figure out a little bit more details. The theme is of balance and renewal and rebirth. The symbols of Ostara are spring flowers, fairies, butterflies, rabbits, and eggs. The colors of Ostara: pastels, yellows, orange, yellow, lavenders, and greens. A couple of rituals that you can do the day of is you can spring clean your house for refreshing and renewing your home. Planting seeds, new seeds for the vegetable garden, and cleaning out the weeds. You can decorate your altar to honor the goddess and the colors. Make egg-based dishes and desserts. Take a nature walk with loved ones and look for signs of spring. I thought that would be fun for Cora to do with her kids. Meditate and perform a simple ritual of waking up in nature. And incorporate seasonal candies such as Peeps and holiday chickens and rabbits and stuff like that. Deviled eggs is also a possible dish you can do. I'm allergic to sulfa, so I can't eat the yolk of eggs. I can do egg whites, but I can't do yolks. So the amount of egg dishes I can eat are very, very minimal, but I highly recommend for anybody who can eat eggs to enjoy them on this day. And we were going to egg decorate because it was egg carving and egg symbolism started in both Chinese and pagan religions. And it expanded into the Christian religion when they adopted it to mimic a certain substance from a certain person who was on a certain cross. It's amazing what you can get demonetized or dinged for lately and stuff. So, it's the beginning of it's the beginning of the pagan holiday, like season calendar, basically. And it's the best holiday or the best springtime ritual for most pagans was planting seeds before the harvest to transition into the modern day. So, or to transition into summer. the modern day. That is something that is a ritual that has transitioned into modern day. Why am I all of a sudden having trouble talking? Anyway, so for my clients who are taking notes, we're going to go into more deep dive and everything else on the actual day of Ostara, but that at least will allow you to get what you need together for any prep or ritual, or have decorate your altar, or everything else. So because we are going to celebrate on that day. The next thing I said I was going to do was the card pulls for the requests that I got on Facebook. So this stream might be a little bit longer than I expected it to go. So I figured for the first couple, I'll use my regular deck. And then for my client reads, I will use our specialty decks, because the clients that I have attuned to the decks that I have pulled out. And my standard deck is just my standard deck because it's been around for years. Okay, so they wanted the question was like, can we do a 3-card reading on the economy? I don't know. Let's find out, basically. So I'm just going to quickly check into the economy the way I usually check into overall things, and we're going to go from there. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of eager to know what's going on here. I have seen an uptick happening, but we'll see what the cards say. And I'm still seeing that. Okay, so we've got the 9 of Cups. Then we've got the 9 of Pentacles. Then we've got the 2 of Cups. And I'm going to pull out my little cheat sheet here, which is also known as the internet, because I don't have my book with me. So unified love, partnership, and mutual attraction is what the ending effect is, which is pretty darn good. Okay, so we have the 9 of Cups, which symbolizes fulfillment and success, which I already knew these both were positive cards. Both of them are basically saying good things, fortune, money, well endowment, all things good when it pertains to money, prosperity, stability, and marital security. So yeah, we have literally nothing but good things happening for the government, wow. So, and that's, wow. Okay. Well, there's your answer for, forget his name. I didn't write down the names of the people who sent me the Facebook questions because I didn't think I needed to, because they weren't paying. So there's the economy question. The next question we had is the Baldwin show going to make it? And my personal opinion, and we're going to put the cards down so I don't influence them. My personal opinion is that no, they're showing me that the Baldwin show is going to hit fake just as much as the Meghan Markle. They're showing me that kind of choreographed story, we're going to emphasize, like, we're only going to emphasize this side of our reality instead of showing you the whole side of it's going to be too edited, too orchestrated, too Kardashianed out, is what I'm hearing from the other side. So on that note, let's check with the cards and see what they say. So Baldwin, the whole Baldwin family, put them all in your head. Not Haley, because she's not a part of them. All of the other ones. There you go. Well, whatever's going to happen, Haley Baldwin's affected along with it. So, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. That's good that card is reversed. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and the Page of Swords. The fact that they're all in swords, I find very interesting. So, and about to experience a moment of breakthrough, which they are because they're about to start their show, which totally makes sense. So 10 of Swords in reverse is everything is happening for a reason, even though it may be difficult to understand that you're going through. Know that it's leading to personal growth and regeneration in the long term. That's what the 10 of Swords in reverse means. So it actually looks like that they actually, and the Page of Swords, from what I remember, is somebody who's learned a lesson already and is coming out the other side. A person in one's life who shows an abundance of energy. Innovation and intellectual prowess. So it is, they're gonna, well, and I don't, this is something about the Baldwins. They are resilient, the whole family. They're very resilient, very smart people, sometimes too smart for their own good. But it's from what the cards see, it's going to happen exactly as I said, that they're going to have a very tough time with the show. The show's not going to do well, but they're going to gain perspective from what happens with the show. And they'll have intellectual prowess once they come out the other side. So that's very interesting. Okay, so, and then Gypsy Rose. It's kind of the same thing. I'm hearing, yeah, I don't agree with my angels on this. And normally I need a little bit more evidence on this, but my angels are referencing, when it comes to Gypsy Rose, kind of when it comes to shows like Baldwin, like Gypsy Rose, the whole situation with Meghan Markle has just ruined it. And so let's see, because they're showing me that, let me put those down. They're showing me that that the Gypsy Rose show is going to do the same thing. If anything, it's going to expose even more about the fakery and the PR moves that were going on behind the scenes in regards to why they decided to pull from the public eye in December and used the baby's birth as the excuse to pull from the public eye. Because frankly, that is the old PR move. So let's find out. So Gypsy Rose. The TV show, not the person, the TV show. There we go. Got the ick. All right, so we've got the 4 of Swords in reverse, the 9 of Swords in reverse, and then Temperance. So there's a lot of swords today. A lot of lessons being learned. So let's double check this. Let's see what we see. 4 of Swords. Relax, meditation, recuperation. Well, that they pulled the show right now, so that makes sense. Fear and anxiety, but it's in reversed. But it's reversed. So let's double check that. Give me reversed. There you go. I should just go get my book. Okay, if it means fear and anxiety and everything right side up, it means there's no worry right now. They're not because it's the opposite of meaning. So they're going into this thinking that everything's going to be great, everything's going to be fine. There's no worry. They have no worry, fear, or depression about it. So which would make sense. They think all right. So, and then we have moderation, balance. A lot of patience is going to be required. So because they pulled right away, it might not impact them as hard. The Baldwins are a little bit more ballsy. I can see why their show not doing well would probably cause them to learn some lessons. Maybe there's people that already know on Gypsy's party that it's not going to do that well. I mean, maybe if Gypsy's smart, she's already figured it out. Being famous in her situation is going to require her dealing with a lot of haters. And that's why I always tell people, like, if you're going to go into fame, you're going to have tough skin. And if you're going into famedom having already done something, you're going to need leather tough skin. Or a whole nother set of armor. Okay, so the last one I'm going to do is the Taylor Swift one. And I'm being told, well, we need it. It's wait a second. Wait a second. I just connected this. Is Channing Tanning the one Taylor Swift is dating? No. Or did they? Wait. I need somebody to answer this. Because I just realized why this person may have asked this question, because they asked it twice. They asked them separately, and I have no idea who. I know who Taylor Swift is, but I don't know who Channing Tanning is. No, he's dating Zoe Kravitz. Okay. I needed to make sure on that one. All right, so Taylor Swift. And I already know this is in connection to what's going to happen with the ooh. Ooh. Well, first of all, whatever's happening to her, she can't change. First of all, she got the Queen of Pentacles. Are you surprised? It's Taylor Swift. Of course, she got the Queen of Pentacles is current. The Sun in reverse, which I expect in the present, because a lot of light has dimmed on her situation because of Blake Lively and that. And truthfully, I have seen that if that situation goes into discovery, there's stuff with Taylor Swift that she doesn't want out. The last card is the Chariot. And I'm going to double check the Chariot, but I'm pretty sure it means you're going to have to go full steam, overcoming challenges and to gain victory. No offense to anybody involved, but if I was Taylor Swift and I got this reading, I would be so ticked off at my friend at the moment. Like, literally ticked the hell off. Because according to this, what I see about discovery happening for Taylor and stuff coming out about Taylor's PR moves and tricks, the cards say that's exactly what's going to happen. And now I'm actually very concerned for Taylor Swift, because oh yeah, chaining tatum, I'm not good with the names. If y'all know me, I'm not good with names. So chaining tatum, whatever. Okay. I know what he looks like, and that's what I'm focusing on, because I looked up who he, like, a picture of him. So this is a completely dry read, because I honestly have no idea who he is. Knight of Cups, Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles. And so we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is basically saying you are not the Knight of Shining Armor. Like, that is the polar opposite of a Knight in Shining Armor. And then we've got Six of Cups, which means there's a give and take. There's an equal divide. And then we've got, yeah, takes you back to the happy memories in your past. There's a give and take in energy in your current situation. Yeah. So evidently the situation where he's whatever he's in right now, it's due to because it reminds him of his past, and it brings up fond memories, and there's a give and take in the situation. And then the Page of Coins in reverse. usually means loss of money. Embrace the discipline and take it just to do it. You may feel like you're being coerced into it, or that being in service is a role you don't want. You should not doubt or resist the impulse of to be of service to others. We're going to jump into a sprint, guys, and I'm going to go check on that and make sure that everybody is okay upstairs, because that didn't sound good. So 20 minutes on the clock, and I will see you guys in 20 minutes. 3, 2, 1, and go. All right. That is the end of that sprint. Sorry, we had to jump into that so fast. I heard a noise upstairs, and she swears she didn't say anything or yell anything, but I swear I heard it. So, yeah, and the whole reason I'm here is to help. So if something happens upstairs and I need to run, that's why I run. So sorry about that. Let's get into the next set of things. Real quick, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna go over the planetary aspects of things, because for the most part, all the planets are still in the same signs. Even the moon. Moon is still in Virgo from Wednesday. So we don't shift out of a Virgo moon until tomorrow. So we're good on that. So we're just going to cover real quick the planetary aspects and those influences, and then I'm going to go over all of the fun talking points that we have. Then we'll do one more sprint, and then we'll get into horoscopes. So we get comfortable here. That was such a cheesy smile. So quick run through. I'm not going to go over all of the aspects. I'm just going to go over the planets and the sign they're in, and we're going to go from there. Oh, wait. No, I had... Okay, so I don't know why. Oh, because that's right. No, because it changed it on me. Give me a second, guys. I had a little bit of issues with because the update last night, whatever update the computer did last night, it didn't end up saving my my notes, and it kind of made me mad. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to cover Moon in Libra real quick, only because from looking at it, we are about to shift into it in the next hour and a half, so it just makes more sense to cover it real quick. So basically, Libra, I'm going to read it off of here. Forgive me. Everyone around you will be likely feeling a strong need to relate and collaborate. Difficult for you to identify your emotions with sounding broad, and the general public will have a graceful demeanor, but with dominating type perspectives. It might be easy to clash with ideas or introspectives with other people. It's possible you will have a difficult time deciding whether your feelings are actually correct. So we're going to have a difficult navigation of emotions today and everything else, which is very interesting because that is something I saw into this afternoon. And truthfully, I thought it was more the aspects that were affecting it instead of the Libra moon, because we do have the sun in Pisces, which is causing problems with the sensitivity and compassion and interactions. Then we've got the moon in Libra, which I just stated. Mercury is still in Aries, and we went retrograde today. So the mental activities slowed down, expression of thoughts in dynamic ways went cockeyed, stronger ability to argue. Like we're not as it's harder to put your thoughts together in order to argue, so we're not so keen on arguing. And our powers of intellect are just difficult. So everybody's just kind of mentally struggling with Mercury in Aries, which is why I hate it. Venus, or Mercury in retrograde. Venus is also in retrograde until the 12th. And impulsive and strong urges in love, but in the negative aspect, bolder in romances, just everything negative about Venus. Mars in Cancer, focus on domestic and emotional securities, greater urgency to protect loved ones. Jupiter in Gemini, opportunity for good fortune, stimulation and new experiences. Saturn in Pisces, pull to reflect on past experiences, oneness with the divine. Uranus in Taurus, sudden changes in finances and innovative energies with practical application. Neptune in Pisces, greater emphasis on all things mystical, magical, imaginative. Spirituality will be embraced collectively. Pluto in Aquarius, significant changes in humanity. Begin with sudden changes, level of progression will be extraordinary. I hate repeating it, but I feel like some of my clients or some of the newer viewers might need it. So Charon in Aries, wounded healer, acknowledgement of concealed traumas and opportunities for growth and deep understanding. So then we've got our planetary aspects, and these are the ones that have actually changed. We've got Sun in conjunction with Saturn, but it brings in a stronger retrospect with a responsibility and duties. Sun sextile with Uranus is a revolutionary enlightenment, expressing oneself in unique and progressive ways. I wonder why. Moon opposition Neptune, increased emotional sensitivities. Retrograde Mercury conjunction with retrograde Venus, lovable, handsome, and refined type energies. It's kind of funny. Retrograde Venus and retrograde Mercury kind of, for some reason, they cancel each other's energy out, but not for all signs. Saturn sextile in Uranus gives self-discipline and endurance with open-mindedness. So basically, we have a lot of changes that have been going on in regards to emotions and sensitivities and enlightenments and a focus on duty and responsibilities. And hence the reason that a lot of the things that you've been seeing happening across all social platforms, all medias, from politics to news to entertainment to everything. Truthfully, it's all been coalesced and commingled, because who would have thought that Disney owns CBS and other entities such as, Universal, owned by Comcast. And yeah, once you actually get into it, to find out how much of the news industry and politics is actually owned by the entertainment industry, it's kind of sickening. But in regards to that, you're seeing a lot of it in, well, first of all, how we got the last of our hostages. Thank you. The last of our hostages, the living hostages, were released, which that has to do with increased emotional sensitivities. There's just a lot of aspects coming in with the Putin and the Zelensky agreement, and then moving in the right direction with that, and how that has to do with the lovable, handsome, refined energies of Mercury with conjunction of Venus, with Sun and sextile with Uranus, with revolutionary enlightenments and expressions in unique and progressive ways. Joe Rogan, again, I'm going to mention that even though he is a controversial person for a lot of my friends, and for me especially, because I am a feminist, and yeah, whatever, he's been hitting the hammer on the head with a lot of the information. And truthfully, I hope he's one of those people that does apply for a White House pass, because I think if there's anybody who could ask the hard-hitting questions, it would be his team. If not him himself, then somebody from his team. I would be very interested to not only hear, like, I know that he's able to have people come on his podcast. However, I would love for him to have somebody actually sitting in that room and asking questions, simply because I may not necessarily agree with every conversation that comes up, or his side of the conversations that come up, but I like the questions he asks. I like how he's able to get information without actually getting information, if you know what you're looking for. And I think that can be very useful in the White House, especially if they're dealing with the situation that they're dealing with. The next thing is Disney. Yes, Disney's getting a little crazy with the way they're kind of they really did halt on the brakes and turn everything sideways, didn't they? From Snow White and the whole basically pulling back any PR chance that that Rachel Zegler has of opening her mouth and messing with things, because the truth is yes, everybody out there is correct. Rachel Zegler's a PR nightmare. They cannot risk getting her mouth near a microphone. People will goat her, and she will fall for it. And she will think that she is helping hype up her reputation in the industry, not realizing that these people are actually goading her in order to help destroy herself. So I think it's very, very smart for whether it was her team or Disney's team or whatever to very much pull back on it. One huge disagreement I have, however, is the fact that Gal Gadot is now getting penalized for coming out at the fact that she is just simply stating that she's Israeli. That's as bad as Disney knocking me to the ground for me coming out and saying I'm a lesbian. There's not much of a difference. You are who you are. Yes, we can start getting into controversial conversations about other things. However, I've stated my opinions on the trans rights issue. But when it comes to how Disney is able to, my projections for Disney at the beginning of the year were not very good. Not in the least bit. Frankly, I didn't see them. I very much saw that if they didn't turn tail very quickly, that the once glorious company that they were was going to spend years recouping their loss. I do see that they've been able to halt whatever forward momentum of destruction were on path with. However, are they going to recoup their losses? Not necessarily. The problem with Disney right now is they have no new ideas. Disney literally needs a fresh, new load of ideas. And if they were smart, since they don't take, since all of us in the Authortube community can't go walking in there and just like present our books to them and be like, hey, we've got fantasy series you can work with. I highly recommend it that Disney maybe gets some Imagineers out there that can comb the internet and find some interesting stories and maybe start buying some, buying up some storylines, because unless they get right now, that's where I it's a stalemate. Honestly, with Disney right now, I see a stalemate. They can't move forward until they have some new ideas, and they don't have any new fresh ideas. They've destroyed Star Wars. They've pretty much destroyed anything that they've gotten their hands on. They're now completely destroying the parks and that's another thing. I am literally giggling at this whole idea of taking away Tom Sawyer's Island, which was specifically made for parents to be able to distract their kids and let them run around and expel energy, to be replaced with an off-road dune buggy track that, frankly, no parent is going to strap their kid into and drive around on. When I saw the layout and the apps, like when I saw the precursor of all this, I literally was like, what parent who is bringing a Disney aged kid is going to put them, like, off-roading is hard enough when you're out in the boondocks of California and you have all the equipment. Like, parents freak out enough. They barely let their kids do it then. What makes you think that they're like, you're not Magic Mountain. Your group of people is not teenagers. Like, I don't understand why Disney seems to think that their market is like between 15 and 25. That's Magic Mountain. That's Six Flags. Leave that demographic to Six Flags. Can you please get back to the demographic of family? Because, Cora, I don't see you strapping any of your boys into a off-roading dune buggy anytime soon. And I don't mean, guys, that it's on a track. I mean it's actually off-roading. This is not a Indiana Jones type ride. This is actually off-road hills that they turn that wonderful area of, that we used to run around in and climb around in and actually expel energy at, because you can't really actually run around inside the park. So I had to rant about that because, frankly, Disneyland, if you want to save yourself, you're going to stay afloat. But if you actually want to accelerate and move ahead anywhere, you need some new ideas. Universal figured it out. That's why they ran with the whole Marvel thing. Star Wars was supposed to be your Marvel, but you let Catherine Kennedy literally destroy it. Not in the sense that it's bad, because I didn't watch the most recent Shadow Crew or whatever it was called, because I got sick of DeLorean and the Mandalorian and God, I can't even remember all the names of the different ones that have come out at this point, because they've destroyed the storyline. So beyond, like, anyway, she said it actually wasn't that bad. Shadow Crew, it actually wasn't that bad. But my whole argument is when you go into Marvel Studios or into Harry Potter world, you can relate to specific characters. You can relate with a specific storyline. You have a generalized idea of what's happening and what's going on. When it comes to Star Wars, they literally have gone so far off the beaten path in so many freaking directions that the only thing that's recognizable at this point is the yeah. I can't even think of the name of it. Blame Bailey's for that one. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It's sitting there right in my head. I can see it. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's one of those moments where I'm not going to remember. And my last little rant on that kind of stuff until I get into people. If you guys haven't seen, there is a Kickstarter going on for Stan Lee, for a documentary on Stan Lee, and exposing exactly what happened to him at the very end of his life, and what the old Hollywood trick is, when, like, pretty much what they did to Stan Lee and what this person is trying to expose in the documentary is pretty much what's happening to Wendy Williams right now. It's what they do to anybody in Hollywood that is of an older level that has any means of being able to make money. It's probably what happened to Michael Jackson. Can't prove it, but there's something about this where I wanted to, if you can, go help out. You can go to Kickstarter.com, and it's just the Stan Lee documentary. And I highly see if you can help him out. Even $5 will help. But there's something about it where I think this documentary needs to be made and it needs to be exposed. So I just wanted to add a little bit on that. For my California friends, I'm giving you guys another warning. You guys have already gotten tornadoes. For those of you that don't know, an F0, yes, I know it's an F0, but it was 85 miles per hour sustained winds, did hit California. It's not the first tornado to hit California. I remember one hitting when I lived there quite a while ago. I was probably 10 years old, so that would have been like in the early 90s, 91, 92. However, this one actually went for like a mile and a half. Guys, this is just, it's your warning. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And if you haven't seen the amount of earthquakes that have literally upticked in Alaska and California, I don't know what to say. The land is moving. There's not much anybody can do when it really comes down to it, because it's not like you can just pick up your house and move. But if you start getting the warning signs, go on a trip. You got family that's in Arizona or inland, go to the go visit the ranch in Tennessee. Go just pay attention to the warning signs, because something's happening. They're even on the USGS site, they're even referencing that magma is moving again under Iceland and Greenland. So they're referencing that if they don't have an 8.0 in California soon, then they're probably going to have a 9.0. So they're even starting to predict it, guys. So just be aware. All right, we're going to jump into another. Well, should we jump in? Actually, no. I'm going to cover this because the last 20-minute sprint that I want to do, after that, I want to do horoscopes. So just real quick. Maxie Boss. This just goes a shout out to her. Her channel was a channel that I loved because she was one of those people that spent a very, very long time being a huge fan of Dance Moms and deep diving to behind the scenes things and getting editor's notes and everything else. And I understand her struggle, and I understand why after 6 years that she maybe doesn't want to fight demonetizations and copyrights and everything else anymore. However, I'm also going to be very sad that your channel is gone. I was one of those people that was a huge fan. I loved your show. I loved your channel. I loved all the juicy gossip and everything else. You being a third party, it felt a little less invasive in a way, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Maxie Boss for giving us so many years of content and everything else, and just applaud her for understanding that sometimes your mental health and stress work and load and changing and going a different life direction is what you need to do. And I support it. I'm sad. And she knew everybody was going to be sad. But on that note, I'm going to shout out her channel and say, if you are interested in getting all the juicy notes from Dance Moms, if you are one of those people that have maybe gotten a little interested into the gossy gossip of Dance Moms and you don't necessarily want to watch the show, her channel, she deep dives into everything. She does top 10 lists. She does the greatest of. She has behind the scenes notes. Her videos are very well done, very well edited, and she voiceovers everything. And I love her voice. That's the other thing. I hope she's getting into voiceover. And then the two last things I want to cover is Rosie O'Donnell. So if Jack is listening, he might want to prep himself, because I'm going to be asking him about how he feels about having Rosie O'Donnell now invade his country, because supposedly it's more liberal than America. I am so eager to have that conversation with Jack, because there's a part of me that's just like, Rosie, did you do your research before you moved? Because her most recent TikTok rant, Instagram, whatever that was that I watched, rant about how she's moving to a more liberal country where her 12-year-old can live in a I gotta ask Jack some questions, because that's not exactly entirely what I've heard about Ireland. So, Jack, if you're listening, I'm going to have some questions about you. And also, on that note, I actually give Rosie O'Donnell some props because, there was a lot of people in Hollywood that swore that if Trump moved into office, that they were going to move out of our country. And I'm still waiting for their announcements. Just stick to your word. If you're still going to do it, do it. I mean, some of them, like, you might not be missed. I don't know. And then Elon Musk, there was this huge, I forget how many Republicans and Democrats, or it was Democrats. I don't know how many Democrats I saw where this TikTok, it was pretty much the same format over and over again. And they're talking about how Elon Musk is going to steal from Americans. And this is my reverberation to this. Okay. Elon Musk is so wealthy that he created a space program just to spite NASA. Like, this man bought X on a whim. I mean, I'm not worried about Elon skimming off the top of Americans. This man literally, like, he created electric cars just to prove it could be done. This man does not need money. He is one of those examples of, like, he's got too much money. He's got so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it. I mean, he's got so much money. He's creating a space company just to spite NASA. I mean, I would love to have that much money. That type of person, I'm not afraid of skimming off the top. All these Democrats that are throwing hissy fits over the fact that U.S. aid and we're investigating and fine tuning and checking every little last detail of every dime that's spent in America, those would be the people that I would actually be worried about skimming off the top. Not a billionaire who's creating a space company just to spite somebody. Wrong. Like, and here's the thing. The general populace, this is what we're thinking is like, I'm not worried about a man who throws around money like cotton candy, skimming off the top of our government funds. I'm more worried about the people who got elected into positions who all of a sudden are driving really nice cars and have really nice houses and have really nice suits and watches on and expect us to not notice the fact that they seem to be bettering their lives while the rest of us are suffering, and they're spewing this toxicity out of their mouth. Frankly, I'm just sick of it. And I'm just done with it, because the amount of BS at this point that's being just regurgitated, and not only that, but guys, be original. If you're gonna rant and complain and throw a fit, at least be original. At least not read from the same script and show the same pictures. Don't have it where somebody literally went, okay, here's the format, everybody, here's the template, here's the script. Like, it just proved to me that I don't want any of these people sitting in office arguing about our politics, because they obviously don't have an individual thought in their head. If their whole format is copy and paste, no wonder our economy and our government got to where it is. Because that's all they've been doing. And did you know when you copy and paste, it's the same as telephone? You're not catching mistakes and errors and everything else. Oh, wait. Or is it just easier not to look over the details and see where all the corruption and the fraud was going on, as you saw the highlighted area of how much was going into your bank account? I don't know. I'm just ranting, guys. Blame the Baileys. But, some of you come from my rants, so I'm going to give it to you. We're going to jump into another 20-minute sprint here. And then after that, we're going to cover horoscopes. And then we're going to be done for the evening. So let me pop this. Oh, we're already on there. So up here, 20 minutes. I'm going to mute it while we rewind it. And I will see you guys in 20 minutes. In 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to... All right, that's our last sprint. We're going to hop into some card readings and some horoscopes here. So, Josh, in regards to your work situation, and these are clients that prepaid and sent their questions to me via other means. So, Josh, we've got the Six of Swords in reverse, the Four of Swords in reverse, and are we doing this all in reversed? And the Hierophant. I always do that wrong. Are these all upside down? No, they're right side up. I'm like, wait a second. Why are these all reversed? Okay. Well, first of all, let's figure out. Let's see what the card. Let's see what the cards say, because this is not what I thought it was going to be. So let's see what the cards say. All right. So, holding on to the past, not wanting to let go of thoughts that are harming you, seeing the bright possibilities that are right in front of. Okay, well, that kind of contradicts the whole conversation that we had, if that's the case, because that means that you're not, maybe, what I'm seeing here, and I'm starting to wonder is maybe you're not being 100% honest with yourself as to whether or not you are seeing this as the possibility that it could be, or maybe you're just kind of feeling like you need to be cautiously aware. Risk of burnout. Yeah, you're being cautiously aware. Okay. Stop and slow down, overwork and overthinking, being on the edge of collapse, hiding your emotions in busyness, resting for so long that there's a risk of becoming lazy. So you're panicking, bro. Okay, so this might be self-inflicted panic, because you're overworked, you're overwhelmed, you're overstressed. It's you and Amy. You two need to have a conversation, I swear. Maybe I should hook you two up. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Never hook up my clients, but I'm just saying, let me find the Hierophant, because there you are. Spiritual leader, expansion and awakening, religious or spiritual structure, finding a guru within. If that's not your angels saying trust in what we're saying, I don't know what is. So you may have, this might be one of those situations that this new venture is the anxiety, the fear, and everything else might just simply be in the fact that it's new, rather than there's anything negative in it. It is what I see it as. I don't see any negative coming from the situation that you're in. The choice in the business path that you decided to take, the change in strategy, the change in perspective that you decided to take is the correct perspective. They're referencing that it's uncomfortable because it's new. You have fear and anxiety in it because you're used to doing it an old way, and they're kind of showing me that it's like, if you're used to doing film, like movies on film, and you have to switch to digital, there's going to be an adjustment period where you're uncomfortable. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Okay, so just be aware that whatever you're going the right direction. You're just you're your own worst enemy in this. So if you can get out of your own way, you'll be fine. And I say that like it's easy. And for those of us who know, especially me, for those of us who like to get in our own ways, I know how hard that is to not be in your own way. I would highly remind. I have 3 things highlighted that we're going to go over in horoscopes today, Josh, and they reference to you: distress tolerance, radical acceptance, and interpersonal effectiveness. So if you don't know what those are, look them up and use them, because those are the skills that you need to use right now. For Kim, you just wanted a general. Okay, and I told you this was going to be difficult without you here. And no, Kim Badger, it's not you. It's a different Kim. I'm going to use this for guidance because, okay, for Kim, they're referencing that just because overall your life seems like it's a mess doesn't mean that there's not order to the chaos. It's kind of funny. They're actually they're kind of showing me like Cora, my friend Cora's life, who is a mom of 3, that literally has her life is literally controlled chaos. They're referencing that they're saying that for once you are mitigating all the difficult areas in your life, you're actually, instead of just ignoring hard situations, you're actually addressing them one at a time. This is not something you're used to, nor something that is this is something you've never done before, and because of you're waiting for the shoe to drop, and they're referencing that the shoe's not going to drop, because the truth is that when you go back and you make the amends and the corrections that you're doing and you're making, the only way you can move is forward. Even though it seems like you're going backwards in order to make those amends and those corrections, that doesn't mean you're actually moving backwards in your timeline. So, and they're also referencing not everybody's going to accept an apology, but that doesn't mean that karma's not on your side when you make that apology. How they accept it is on their terms. When being judged, in the end, what God takes into consideration is where your heart was when it happened. Were you making the apology just to make the apology and get the situation over with, or were you heartfelt in it? And from what I can see, you were heartfelt in your apologies, even though the other person wasn't that reciprocating of it. But that doesn't mean that your apology is null and void, if that makes sense. And for this last little bit, I feel like you're almost on like a 12-step program, Kim, for some reason. Yeah, you are. If you're not on a 12-step, like an actual 12-step program, you're kind of doing the whole fixing and rewriting of things, because you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, which is you've started on a path of enlightenment. You have the Four of Swords in reverse, which I swear we just had this reading earlier, which is interesting. The cards came up that way. But you have the 10 of Wands in reverse, which shows that you're not going to be going through such difficulty and such hard strives anymore. So you've got good momentum on your side, Kim. Just keep going with it. And just because it looks like chaos doesn't mean you're not moving in the right direction. Oftentimes, when you have to reset your life, there's going to be chaos in the process of it. So that's for Kim. And I really wish she was in here so she could answer my questions, but that's okay. And then the last one we have is for Noah. And he wanted these cards. And Noah, this was about your money stock situation. So.
All right. Here's some music picked just for you.
Off. Siri, turn off. Oh, I'm about to unplug you. Yeah, there you go. I don't even know how that happened. That was interesting. And I don't even have iHow set up to voice response. So I don't even know how that responded, because that's not even set up to voice respond. Oh, well, unplug it. The joys of going live, right? Anyway, so, for Noah, money and stress. Here we go. All right. Got some new ones here. Right, number 21. All right, Dimerite. So this is about your money, your stocks, Noah. So we've got organization, orderly, clutter clearing, and list making. So I take it that because of current situations with the market, you have been fixing and realigning your stocks. Okay, let's see if it's actually come out right, and then definitely let's see where you are in the current standing, and then let's see if we're going to end up on a good note here. I feel like you've got really good energy going in your direction. Nothing but positive vibes. Resolving disputes, diplomacy, restoring harmony, mending fences, and building bridges. I see nothing but really good things for you, Noah. So, green. All right. So, number 1. Number 1. Number 1. All right. Integrity, solidarity, reliability, consistency. Noah, you got nothing but whatever you did with your stocks, Noah, you did right. You made the right move. You made the right decision. You're headed the right direction. I want a little piece of the pie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You already paid me, and I appreciate it I appreciate it. There we go. So those are the readings for the clients that have already paid. If you were interested in getting a reading from me and you don't want to pay on here, you're more than welcome to contact me through any of my social medias. For my clients, you already know what to do. So, and yes, for my clients, because there was 3 of you that asked, yes, if you want a reading on the live, I will do a reading on the live for you. I don't have a problem with that. NDAs, discreetness. I try to keep things private for you. So just know that. But to any of my clients, if you want a reading on the live, I'm more than happy to do so. So we're going to jump into horoscopes here. And for anybody that's new here, and for all my returning people, the way that we do this, hold on, I'm going to fix my blanket here. You know, because I live in Washington State, and it just decided to snow the last couple, rain and a little bit of snow last couple days. So I got my blanket and I'm cozy warm. All right. So the way that we usually do this when it comes to horoscopes is I start with Aries. I go all the way through to the end. I leave Scorpio to the end because I am a Scorpio. And when I try to do Scorpio, my angels throw in a bunch of messages and it just discombobulates me. So I leave it till the end. We have several different things that are coming in regards to the planetary aspects that I already went over, but Mercury retrograde and Venus in retrograde both throw in a lot of negative energies this week, except for Pisces. Pisces seems to have a cancellation of energies of some sorts. So let's get on with it. All right. So, and also for all of you that come for the horoscopes, please remember to like and subscribe. I noticed that 50% of you are return viewers and do like my stuff. Subscribing is free and YouTube loves it because then it pushes my videos out to more people, and the more people we can help and get on positive paths of enlightenment, the better off this world will be. So I'm going to start with Fridays. I'm going to do a quick rundown of what today's energies were for all of us, and then I'll move into Saturdays and Sundays for each sign. Okay. And as I move on from each sign, I'll say so. So to start with Aries. So Fridays, you had intense positive decision-making energies with supportive, strong supportive emotional energies into the afternoon with a focus on home-related projects by the end of the day. Into Saturday, you're going to have disrupting, disconnecting, and confusing type energies, especially in communications and conversations. You can blame Mercury retrograde for this, okay? Mercury retrograde handles our thought process and our communications. That's why it's all there's been a wrench thrown in all that lately, okay? Stubborn and difficult energies do come in towards the midday with strong intuition and inward-facing energies by the end of day. Aries, you guys are going to need radical acceptance and distress tolerance by the end of day on Saturday, okay? So use it to your advantage. On Sunday, we've got learning and knowledge-based energies with a slowdown or a blockage of flow of energies, especially in information or mental towards midday. The slow down to speed up tactic is going to be your best use of this energy. Acknowledged emotions, don't dwell in them, okay? Radical acceptance is going to be your strong suit on Sundays, moving in with strong, unique, and practical mental energies by the end of the day. That's why radical acceptance is going to be your best bet, because you'll have the mental energies by the end of day Sunday to handle anything that's been overwhelming for the weekend, okay? Into Monday, we're going to continue with this Mercury retrograde energy. Unfortunately, we're only gearing up for it. So we're going to have on Mondays, just be aware for any of you that are business oriented or in tax season, Monday is going to be a very difficult communication day. Also, if you're in tax season, just know until Mercury goes out of retrograde, we're going to have difficulties in all communications. So having that difficult conversation with your client, yeah. So let me just double check, because so it goes out of retrograde on the 7th. Mercury goes out of retrograde on the 7th. Venus goes out of retrograde on the 12th. Okay. So at least until the 7th, we're all screwed. No, I'm just kidding. Going on to Taurus, today you had insightful and playful energies to start with scattered thoughts and strong energies in decision-making towards the midday. Harmonious energies with confident undertones by the end of day today. Into Saturday, you're going to have delaying, inconvenient, and general problem-oriented type energy. Past issues can creep up into the forefront during the midday. Trust your instincts to navigate when confused. Misinterpretations and interruptions and a stall in finances does come in towards the end of the day, but with spirited and enlightened undertones. Look for the blessing in disguises or the diamonds in the rough in order to mitigate the energies best, okay? Into Sunday, forward-moving energies with detail-oriented problem-solving undertones. You're going to have rush and hasty energies with a slow down to speed up type mentality that'll help you on Sunday. You're going to have strong energies in social and popularity, especially in communications, but be careful because you do have distracting and nervous-based energies with underlying motivational energies that can really trip you up in the social sector on Sunday, Tauruses, okay? So if you're going to be social on Sunday, just be aware. Make sure that you're identifying what's coming out of your mouth before. Don't let your words bypass your brain, as my mom used to say. Okay. For my Geminis, on Friday, you have positive energies towards ideas and projects, re-energizing energies in financial and business with active, empowering, and achievement-oriented energies with an undertone of excitement by the end of the day. Into Saturday, you're going to have disrupting and misunderstandings in communications. Renewed interest in past projects does come in with an introspection towards new people. Perspective-based discovery-oriented energies do come in by end of day. Be careful, Geminis, because we are in a retrograde. Even though you guys do very well on the social, not everybody else is on the same playing field. Just remember that. Into Sunday, you've got confident and independent energies where there may be a need to be defensive. You've got kind of sensitive, tender energies that come in midday, but they turn into good communication and compromising energies towards the end of the day. You've got strong, ambitious undertones in money and finances towards the end of the day as well. Use this to your benefit if you need to do any tax and, filing of the taxes. For my Cancers, on Friday, today you had good connecting, motivating, enthusiastic energies with the ability to express yourself, with competitive, motivating, and pursuant type energies with the willingness to take on adventures or adventures, movements forward, leaps forward, basically. Tomorrow, you're going to have strong misunderstandings and misinterpreting type energies with strong observational and listening abilities, okay? So use this to your advantage. Confusion and misdirected energies, especially in careers and goals, does come in midday with a strong adversarial energy. You're going to have a strong adversity to authority by the end of the day. For some reason, Saturday for you Cancers, things are just going to ruffle your feathers the wrong way. Everything's going to irritate you. So just do your best to mind your P's and Q's, okay? Into Sunday, courageous and daredevil type energies come in with a pull to find deeper meaning in all activities in your life. You've got creative and inspiring energies, but with frustration in travels by the end of the day. So Cancers, if you plan on doing any travel, just make sure you get home before the end of the day. on Sunday, because evidently travel is not going to do well for you. Everything else on Sunday is great. It just travel by the end of the day is going to be difficult. Why? Blame the chart. Leos. Today you had motivating, commitment-oriented energies with a strong feeling in close relationships. Confident, decisive, and focused energies with a focus on unfinished projects was coming in today. Tomorrow you've got confusing, misdirected, and fuzzy type energies. You're going to mind fog. Leos, you're going to have that brain fog, okay? Inconveniences and problems will cause interruptions, and you can blame the brain fog for this because Leos, your days tend to go like this. If one thing starts to, if you get the snowball rolling in the morning, it just adds to it by the end of the day. That's what's going to kind of happen to you Saturday, so be aware. Focus on what you can control, not on what you can't. Radical acceptance. Just know that you're going to have to navigate the balance of like, okay, who cares? Move on. Okay. Into Sunday, you're going to have strong focus on relationship and creative type energies. You're going to have a disconnect and misunderstanding in communications, blame Mercury retrograde, and scattered, overwhelming energies, especially in the ability to restrain oneself. Okay. They're referencing that you're going to need to have a lot of self-discipline on the afternoon of Sunday into the evening. Watch your mouth, watch your tone. Okay. For my Virgos, you had cheerful, optimistic, and helpful energies today with good teamworking, team building type energies, motivating, re-energizing, and focusing on network and communications. Into Saturday, you're going to have misinterpreting, misdirecting, and perplexing energies, especially in the mental and thought process. Realigning and reorganizing energies and financial and money does come into focus into the midday. You have creative energies with favorable undertones, especially in planning and analyzing by end of day. Sunday, you have impatient and frustrating energies with underlying experimental type energies. Be careful, Virgos, on Sunday. Do not let this experimental type energy be the one that throws the wrench in all your plans, okay? If you're going to experiment, make sure it's something that you know it's safe to experiment with. Slow down to speed up and don't become your own enemy. You're going to get in your own way on Sunday, Virgos, okay? So just be aware. Confident and interesting energies do come in with an openness to new ideas by the end of the day. The middle of the day, Virgos, you're going to be your own worst enemy. Just stay out of your own way, okay? And that's on Sunday. For my Libras, Friday, you've got ambitious, awakening, rekindling type energies with strong harmonious undertones. You have a desire and confident building type energies with a take charge, especially with a focus on reputations and careers. You've got positive and motivating energies throughout the end of day today. Into tomorrow, you've got a strong focus on relationship with a disruption and frustration in communications. Give partners space to prevent fights. Renewing, revising, and reorganizing type energies do come in by the end of day. However, this is going to bubble up resentment and renewal of expectations due to past issues. So just be careful not to go on the attack of your partner just because of old things might come to the surface by the end of the day on Saturdays. Okay, Libras? On Sundays, you've got strong emotional energies with very impatient undertones. Overly sensitive, overly spontaneous type energies, especially in the emotions department with impulsive capabilities. Sundays, emotion-wise, Libras, you guys are not going to do well. You're going to be hypersensitive, hyper-emotional. Do your best to either pad yourself or stay away from people, okay? Use this time to address and notice emotions rather than dwell on them. Okay, see if you can, and don't deny them either, because they're referencing that since these are past emotions, denying them is just going to compile the issue. You're supposed to be dealing with them right now. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. Much better. Okay, for my Sagittariuses. You've got courageous and demanding yet gratifying type energies that came in today, with especially in the intimate and domestic sector, with pursuing type energies with confident undertones. Easy flowing, complacent, and investigative type energies come in at the end of the day. Into Saturday, you have mindful and expressive energies, especially with self, with a willingness to push ahead. Indecisive and confusing energies do come in midday, especially in communications and in relationships. So just be careful with that. Inspiring and problem-solving energies with editing, conclusion-oriented energies do come in by the end of the day. Whatever caused the disruption by the middle of the day, you're going to have the energies by the end of the day to be able to fix it. Okay, Sagittariuses? On Sunday, you've got strong-minded and motivational type energies with creative and positive undertones. Communications, connections, and even breakthroughs with impulsive and overwhelming energies. Money and ownership does come into focus with a need to simplify all areas. Self-motivate and self-soothe to keep from being overwhelmed. I definitely repeated the same statement over again. Okay, so basically they're saying that you're going to have such impulsive and such scattered energies on Sunday, Sagittarius. Be aware that you aren't overworking yourself and simplify things. Make sure that the to-do list doesn't need to be 700 things long. Okay, you can split it up into pieces. For my Capricorns, today, you had innovative and forward-moving energies with harmonizing energies, especially in relationships and partnerships. Motivating and independent type energies do come in by the end of the day. On Saturday, you've got confusion, irritating, and disconnect in both communications and connections. Revelations and new perspectives on past conversations add a conventionality to your way of thinking. Revisionary, revising, and removing energies, especially in self-expression, do come in by the end of the day. On Sunday, you've got attention-oriented energies, especially in career and reputation. Confidence through unique interactions or conversations. Look outside the box if you're stuck on a problem. Distracting but motivating energies do come in by end of day. Capricorns, you're going to be going back and forth. It's going to be all about balancing the energy pretty much, because you're going to be bouncing between wanting to clean up and clean out, but also realign and redefine, and also keep and amend and yeah. So just try to find equal balance within your own thought process, Capricorns. For Aquariuses, improving and attention-seeking energies came in today with a focus on money management and resources. Decision, resolving, refueling, and confident energies with a take charge and motivating type undertone does come in by the end of the day. On Saturday, you've got rethinking, reevaluating, and reassessing energies with a strong learning and understanding undertones, especially in conversations and connections. Misunderstandings and miscommunications does come in by midday, blame Mercury retrograde. Double check both work and people to navigate the energies best. Make sure you're not going to be able to really identify the other people's energies as well as you're used to during this Mercury retrograde area, Aquariuses. So just make sure that you're double checking with people to identify how they're feeling. Okay. On Sunday, you've got motivational energies and improvements and adjustments with distracting and misrepresenting energies, especially in communications. Tension and frustrating energies, especially in obligations and duties, it does come in by the end of the day. More than likely, when I was doing my meditating, they're referencing that the tension and frustrating energies are going to come in from the misunderstandings and the distractions from the conversations prior in that day. So if you are, as an Aquarius, able to keep an eye on your conversations on Sunday and mitigate them accordingly, you won't be so frustrated in the afternoon. Okay. For my Pisces, you had confident, creative energies today, especially in romance or social pursuits. Courageous and spontaneous energies with friends with an independent and competitive undertone. Tomorrow you're going to have rethinking, revising type energies, especially in finance and money. Slow down to speed up and to find new perspectives for best navigation of this energy. Unconventional and overwhelming energies come in, especially in the social sector by end of day. Self-soothe in order to not get overwhelmed. On Sunday, you've got motivating and inspiring type energies with a difficulty in focus and attention, especially in the communication sector. Observational and understanding type energies do come in to help by midday, but you have an impatient and get it done type energies come in by the end of day. If you don't have anything planned to do on Sunday, Pisces, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Figure out something to plan on Sunday afternoon, because you're going to have the type of energies where you're going to feel feel a bum rush at the end of the day. So, and for my Scorpios, you had confident and harmonious energies with the clarity and self-expression today. Adventuresome and inspiring type energies with the ability to focus and refine. Active, rebuilding, and purpose-oriented energies into the afternoon. Into tomorrow, you're going to have misunderstanding and confusion in communications. Good energies to rethink or rework problem areas. Strong, intuitive, and thought-provoking energies to come into the afternoon. Creative, active, and project-oriented energies by midday. It's going to be a good time for researching and making refinements on all current projects and creative assignments. Into Sunday, you're going to have uncomfortable, edgy, icky feeling type energies. Self-soothe and self-distract to best mitigate. Strong, forward-driven, and restful energies come in by midday. Do your best to balance both sides of emotions, since you'll have an overwhelming sensitive yet fast forward moving emotions by end of day. So Scorpios, we are just going to be go on Saturday and Sunday. Just make sure that you're not overworking or overwhelming yourself. Make sure that you're taking those breaks that you need to take in order to mitigate the energies as best you can. Okay, so that is our horoscopes for today. That is the end of our live stream for today. We were blah, 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 blah. Don't forget that on Monday, we're going to be having our St. Patrick's Day live stream with Nummy Nummies. I'm going to be decorating. I'm going to be dressed up in the St. Patrick's Day colors. We got some drinks to try that I showed off on our last stream. I'm going to be trying Bailey's and Cocoa Puffs, which is evidently an Irish thing. I've got some Irish quizzes. Our friend Jack Byron from Ireland will be joining us. Hopefully he's confirmed, but you never know what happens. I'm just, my anxiety kicks in about it. So, but on that note, thank you for coming in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, please like and subscribe so that YouTube can bring you back when I do live streams again. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 7 o'clock for approximately 2 hours. I give you your horoscopes. We do a little bit of rants. We did some sprints done to get some work. I appreciate you guys joining me. And if you raise your glass, we'll do our cheers and we can get out of here. So may your and actually I need to push a couple buttons first. So may your angels be strong, may your energies be positive, and may karma be ever in your favor. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.